If you suffer with tight hip flexors, tight glutes, bad low back, any kind of pain like that in the groin area, then this video is for you. Hey guys, it's Andrew again here back in my humble abode of a gym, and today's video is kind of a request by someone asking for GOATA exercises for groin pain, which is a great question. And let's talk about it real quick. So what exactly is or could be groin pain? I just want to establish this. For most people, because it's in this area, right? It's going to be tight and weak hip flexors, so the muscles that we use to bring our knees up and down like this. It's also going to be, or could be, tight and weak glutes, right? So our butt cheek muscles that help bring our leg backwards like that. Could also be tight and weak low back muscles. Lots of people have their hips pushed forward all the time when they do literally anything. That causes a lot of stress on the low back. And then of course could also be tight, weak core muscles. So today's exercises are going to address all of those things. And going along with that, I just want to emphasize something about what GOATA is and what GOATA isn't. Okay? So this video is not going to be a bunch of isolating exercises, okay? Like we could use weight or resistance band and we could target our hip flexors doing an exercise like this. You know, we could do that exercise you see everyone do at the gym, that booty buster or whatever, you know, they're using on the cable machine for their glutes. We're not doing any of that, okay? You can go find plenty of videos on the internet that will show you how to isolate each of these muscles. We don't want to do that. That's just going to treat the symptoms and not the actual problem, okay? What we want to do is target everything all together, as well as recode our movement patterns, because part of the reason you're having pain in all these areas is because of the way that you walk and sit and run and do all those things, right? So we want to address all of those all at the same time. Okay, so that's what GOATA is focused on, is working the body as a whole system. So let's get into it. We're going to start, there's just 5 exercises to start out. This could be a series, we'll see, okay? And I gotta hold the mic here because if I don't, the sound quality is probably not going to be as good. So the first exercise is going to simply be a child rocker, and I've shown this in other videos. But this is a great exercise. It's like beginner exercise on the ground. It's going to target the hip flexors and the glutes and our low back. Okay, so we're just on hands and knees here with feet on the ground. I'll turn around in a second, okay? But we're just rocking back and forth, right? Butt to heels here. I'll show you from the side. You'll see I got my back nice and flat. My toes are pointing in, heels are pointing away. I'll show that here. Okay, nice flat back, right? Just rocking nice and slow here. And really, you know, for the sake of this video we're gonna do this in rounds. I would say do this exercise for 20 reps. But this exercise is such a good exercise. It's one of my favorites that I would just do this until you don't want to do it anymore until it just burns, okay? Because it's such a good exercise. And if you can't get your butt down to your heels, that's okay. Just go where you can and then rock back up. And the great thing about all these exercises is that we can progress them from body weight to, I could hold a dumbbell or a weighted plate, right? And rock back and forth. I could have a weighted vest, resistance bands, anything like that to make this more challenging, and just like that. Okay, that's the first exercise, is a child rocker. Let's get into the second exercise. It's just going to be a simple bow wall sit, okay? So I got the wall here. We're about a foot distance away from the wall, give or take, okay? All 10 toes are pointing straight, right? My feet are a fist width distance apart here, and then I'm simply just going to push my hips back against the wall. Okay, so my butt is sitting against the wall. I'm going to lift my heels off the ground, be on the balls of my feet, and then I'm going to let my kneecaps point out. Okay, some people honestly can't even get their kneecaps to point out, and that's okay. Okay, we just want to be trying to push our kneecaps out, and then what we're gonna do without moving anything else is I'm gonna bring my chest, pointing it down to the ground as far as I can, okay, until I start to feel a stretch in my posterior chain, right? Glutes, hamstrings, all of that's gonna be lit up, okay? And I'll show this from the side, and you're just gonna hold this position for 45 seconds, give or take anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. And again, we can progress this. I could be holding weight here against my chest. From the side, you wanna make sure that we've got that flat back, okay? The whole way through, no matter where you're at. And I'm even engaging my shoulders. I'm pinching them together as well to help me maintain good flat posture here, as if I was holding the weight against my chest here. And this is the bow wall sit, okay? This is again targeting really the glutes and the low back, but you might feel it other places like the quads, and that's just okay. Okay, holding that for about 45 seconds. You can progress this too to where you're not using the wall for support, and that's a whole other video here, but we're still gonna use the wall for the third exercise, and this is gonna be a wall corner, okay? So the corner is the opposite of our bow here. So as everything is set up the exact same, okay? Feet are still fist width distance apart, 10 toes pointing straight, my hips are against the wall here, right? As I move my hips up and my legs start to extend here, I want my kneecaps to point inwards and actually cross each other here, okay? And this is gonna be our corner, okay? So as my hips go down into my squat, kneecaps point out. As my hips come up, as if I'm leaving the ground, those kneecaps are gonna point in, okay? Now, one thing at the foot level, because we don't want our ankle bones to collapse inside like this, okay? So I am actively thinking about pushing my feet apart from each other, like I'm tearing the ground in half, right? Pushing each foot out, while simultaneously pointing these kneecaps in, okay? Now, chest is still pointing as much to the ground as possible, and this is gonna light up everything from your calf, hamstring, glutes, low back, and the hip flexors as well, because we're forcing this internal rotation here. So we're working everything. I could be holding weight, right? And we're gonna hold this for 45 seconds or anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute, just like this. This is an awesome hold. I really feel it lighting up my low back already, okay? Now, let's get into the fourth exercise here. This one's gonna be a little difficult trying to do a mic, but we're trying to target a little bit more core here as well, okay? So, this is just an iso hold here on all fours. So I'm gonna show it just from head on first. Is we're just on all fours here. My shoulders are over my hands and my hips are stacked over my knees, okay? So from the side, hips over knees, right? Shoulder over my wrist, okay? I'm in all fours. You see the flat back, right? That's important. Okay, now I'm gonna get on my toes here. Okay, so toes are touching the ground, and then we're just gonna barely lift the knees, just barely off the ground, okay? You're not like throwing your butt up into the sky, okay? Keep those knees off the ground, but as close to the ground as possible. And then we're simply holding this position, maintaining that flat back. I could be squeezing my core here. This is a little bit upper body as well, but we're targeting everything again. And this is a great exercise, holding this, I would say for a minute, but honestly, till failure. Hold this for as long as you can. And if you're feeling real extra, I wasn't gonna show this, but if you're feeling real extra with this exercise, we can add a little bit of a crawl here, okay? Super small, so same thing as I set up, right? Knees are off the ground, and then opposite leg, opposite arm, go back, okay? Just like that. And then I would come back here, and then switch sides, just like that. I'm really feeling extra here. Really takes in some coordination and stability while working all the areas that we want. Okay, just like that. Okay, that one is really hard. I'm already out of breath and sweating. The fifth exercise, I thought I would end with a nice stretch, okay? This is just the bow hip stretch. Super simple. It's very similar to just a split stance lunge, and where people, so here's the difference, okay, and this is important. Notice, this is how most people do it, okay? So notice where my head is and where my foot is. And then they just go like this, knees over toes, right? And we're just like sitting in this stretch. Back leg is reaching out as far as possible. We're gonna do this in a much better way, okay? So you'll notice my lead foot here, foot straight, right? Now, kneecaps pointing out. I'm gonna get my heel off the ground, and I'm gonna bring my head over that foot, okay? And I'll show this from behind as well. You can see this back leg, but we're gonna hold this position here. You can move around, you know, feel the stretch where you need to feel it, but our head is over that foot and the kneecaps pointing out. That's what we want, okay? This little twist back, down, back, and out action is exactly what we want, okay? And if you'll notice the back leg here, okay, it's gonna maintain toes in, heels away, just like a lot of the other exercises that we do here. And then we're just holding this for 45 seconds to a minute. It's a really good stretch. Let me get the other side because gotta even it out here, right? So head over foot, okay? Kneecaps pointing out, and then you can just find whatever deep position you need for this stretch. This is a really good stretch for hip flexors on the opposite leg, you know, the back leg, and then a little stretch in the glute on this forward leg here, but whoo, very nice, okay? And that's it. I would do at least 2 to 3 rounds of that, and at least once a day. Like honestly, I'd say 2 to 3 times a day, if not literally as much as possible. They're, you know, they're simple and easy enough exercises that it's not like so hard that you can't or don't want to do it, but they're easy enough that, and it hardly takes any time at all. But I promise, if you do these exercises consistently, a lot of your pain is going to just dissolve away, and you're going to get much stronger hip flexors, glutes, low back, core, all of that, all while changing the way that your body moves. And we're going to solve things for the long term, not just the short term, okay? So try those exercises out. Let me know how it goes, because we could do more as well in a future video here. So I'll see you guys on the next one, and thanks for watching.